Today's episode of Alive and Thriving is all about using emotional freedom techniques, so EFT tapping, to increase financial abundance and deal with financial stress. Now, I know as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as professionals, as mothers, as people, so many of us are facing financial challenges and stress on a daily basis. And fortunately, EFT tapping is a powerful tool that can help you to release negative emotions and beliefs around money, can help you to cultivate a more positive and abundant mindset, and help you to achieve your financial goals with greater ease. So join us on this episode as I share some very, very practical tips to using EFT tapping. I might even give you some examples to help you to not only deal with financial stress, but to really help you create financial abundance in your life. And just before we do dive in, I want to share with you that our next EFT tapping circle is coming up on the 10th of May. Now, this tapping circle, the topic for this month is increasing your financial abundance. And what I want you to know is what you can expect from this tapping circle. So when you come along to an EFT tapping circle with me, you can expect a safe container that I lead you through. Even if you've never ever tapped before, you are welcome to come. Even if you are a professional EFT practitioner like myself, you are welcome to come along, because together we are going to be identifying money stories, identifying blocks that are living in your subconscious mind. We're going to be helping to clear stagnant energy around money and old stories and old beliefs that are no longer serving you around money. And we're going to begin that process of rewriting your new money story. And of course, we're going to get the benefits of lowering stress as well, because when we are tapping, as we know, we are sending a calming signal up to our brain, teaching us that we don't need to be in fight or flight response. It has also been proven that when we are tapping, that you can reduce your stress hormone cortisol by up to 43% in just 1 hour. Now, the ladies who come along to the tapping circle often tell me just how well they sleep afterwards, or tell me how something that they didn't think was still an issue for them, or something that had been on their mind, now no longer seems significant anymore. They tell me that they look forward to the second Wednesday of every month and absolutely love attending the circles, and I just absolutely love that. I get off every tapping circle call feeling so inspired to come along back to the next month to keep creating for you guys based on what you need and what is going to support you to move forward in life and business, because EFT is quite a versatile tool. So when we're tapping, we're really elevating our energy and we're elevating our potential as well. So look, so many benefits. I won't keep talking about it now. I just hope you can come along and join me at next month's tapping circle, which again is the 10th of May, 7:30 p.m. And if you are listening to this on the 11th of May and you're thinking, oh no, I missed it, I encourage you to jump on the wait list, which is all linked in the show notes, for the tapping inner circle. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this today, but the tapping inner circle is how you are going to be able to access all of the replays of all of the previous month's tapping circles, as well as get your access ongoing to tapping circles at a really, really great price, and some other amazing support things too to help you tap and incorporate tapping into your daily life. So again, just pop on the wait list. Wait list isn't a commitment. It's just tell me when this is out so I can have a look at it. So hop on there if that sounds like something that you are interested in. Right, let's dive in. This is Alive and Thriving, where we tackle all things that stand in the way of holistic well-being and self-care in life and as women in business. Join me for real and raw conversations and inspiring guests who are expert in their fields as we come back to life together, overcoming stress, anxiety, nourishing our mind, body, and emotions. I am your host, Jessica Reed, alternative therapist, life and wellbeing coach. And if you are ready to grow, heal, and thrive together, then you are in the right place. Rightio. So the first thing I want to talk about today when it comes to EFT with our money stories and with our financial abundance increasing is understanding how EFT tapping can actually help to release the negative emotions and the negative beliefs that may be holding you back from achieving financial abundance, that may be, without you knowing, keeping you in these cycles of self-sabotage when it comes to your business earnings and when it comes to your energetic capacity to call in more money. So let's chat about that. So first of all, EFT tapping. And if you don't know what tapping is, I will just talk about it briefly because, I know some of you listen to me all the time. And so you've heard me talk about tapping, but EFT tapping is a technique that combines ancient Chinese acupressure with modern talk therapy. And basically, it is a self-applied, self-soothing technique. And so what you do is you use your fingers, your fingertips, to stimulate acupressure points, that surface close to your skin. Now, when you're stimulating these acupressure points, there's a few things that happen. The first thing that happens is that, the first thing I'll talk about is that the acupressure points that you're tapping on are along energy meridians. Now, these meridians run through our chakras, our energy centers. So when there is a blockage, basically when we tap on what we know as our primary vascular system, it is not, this woo-woo made up thing. There are very, very real studies, very, very real imagery with MRIs and other types of measuring tools that show that when we tap, we are impacting our body's energetic system. And so what we're doing is we're unblocking and we're allowing that energy to flow freely. I can never say that fast. To flow freely through our energy centers and through our body. And so by releasing that flow, we are allowing these negative emotions, these stagnant emotions, these really heavy emotions too. Remembering that all emotions are chemical. And so every time we have long-term negative, heavy emotions within our body, we are also impacting our cells. We are impacting our body at a cellular level. When we think about the body mind and we think about, subconscious memory living in the body at a cellular level, when we tap, we are allowing this emotion to free. We are processing that stuck, stagnant energy. And you'll probably feel that if you start tapping on something. I've got a little off topic here, but you'll probably feel that if you start tapping on something that does hold a little bit of emotional weight for you. Because one minute you'll be tapping and you might feel a bit worked up, overwhelmed or stressed, and the next minute you'll want to cry, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, that's the goal, right? Now you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to tap. But no, please do. Because you don't want those things to be stuck and stagnant in your body. So from an energetic perspective, that is how tapping is helping. And then from a brain-based perspective, tapping is sending a calming signal up to your amygdala. The sequence of acupressure meridians that we tap on send a calming signal to your brain's fight or flight response to say, oh, I know you're stressed about this thing, so I've gone into danger mode. I'm not sure this is its exact conversation, but I know you're stressed about this thing. So I've gone into danger mode, but I'm actually receiving calming signals at the same time. And so I can't be calm about something and stressed about something. And therefore, I'm going to come out of my fight or flight response about this thing. Remembering that even just worrying about something can send you into survival mode. Now, typically when we, in the traditional use of survival mode for our ancestors, when we would have to escape, a dangerous beast who was trying to eat us, or we needed to fight or flee for our, for our lives, for our safety. Once that fighting or fleeing had finished, we'd have this sigh of relief and this signal for our rest and digest nervous system to come back on. For us to go back to a place of homeostasis where we're not, in stress, where we're just being, where we're just human beings. And so in that place, that's where healing happens. When we enter our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite to our stress response, that's where healing happens. That's where our digestive system functions properly, our reproductive system. That's where our logical brain can actually be engaged, because the emotional brain and the survival brain is no longer taking charge, because remember, we're wired for survival. And so when we are sending these calming signals, when we have had that fight or flight response activated by something like a worry, we're not getting that instant okay, this is over. Because typically it would take somebody 20 minutes, approximately 20 minutes, say 20 to 30 minutes to return out of their fight or flight response. 20 to 30 minutes. And so if you are going from one worry to the next, from one negative thought to the next, then you're not going to have an opportunity to come out of that fight or flight response. You are living in survival mode purely from your thoughts and the interpretation that you are making of the things that are coming into your world. And that is very much going to be based on your beliefs and the stories that you have. And so when we tap on, if let's say we start with, we're stressed because of money. So we're tapping about being stressed, and we're sending this calming signal to our brain saying, okay, well, maybe I don't need to feel this excessive stress about this right now. Maybe what I'm thinking about and the way that I have associated this memory is actually safe. And then the brain can then go and reprogram, retag the way that it has filed that memory and the emotions and the associations that it's had to it. So when we are releasing negative emotions, I know I just went into some beliefs for a moment, but when we are releasing negative emotions and negative beliefs, we are effectively changing the way that our brain processes those thoughts and those feelings. And so I want to give you a very real example. I'm going to go into beliefs in a little more detail shortly, but I want to just give you a very real example of tapping for stress around money right now. Now, I'm very happy to share. I'm quite an open book when it comes to my experiences and my thoughts and my feelings about things. So I very much used to struggle and still do struggle sometimes with a financial mindset. I know that there are beliefs and money stories and things that I have experienced and things that still, pop up every now and again and go, oh, I didn't know that was there. Where did that come from? What's going on for me now? I'm naturally very curious about, finding out where things are coming from for me. But in terms of stressing about money, that is something I had to stop myself from doing. And I know you might be thinking, how on earth can you do that in this climate? But what I realized for me, and this has taken a bit of practice, because don't worry, I am impacted too by, the constant rate rises and the things that are happening around me. Our mortgage, oh my God, I couldn't even tell you, it's gone up more than what I used to earn a week at my old job. And so, how someone is supposed to miraculously find that extra amount of money is one type of mindset. And it is a question I've said to myself, oh my God, how? And then I was like, actually, okay, no, how? How can I? Because I'm not going to allow myself in this very, very short life that I have to be bogged down and weighed down by this constant doom and gloom, money stress. And that is my choice as to where I put my thoughts and my attention and how I deal with my stress. Now I've become very, very alert and very conscious of the thoughts that I've had. And very, only a few short years ago, I probably would have spent my days and my nights and sleepless nights worrying about how the mortgage might be paid next month, worrying about how my business bills might be paid next month if I've had a quieter month, worrying, right? But what I've chosen to do is look at, again, how much of my life do I want to spend in worry? I've implemented techniques such as worry time journaling and other techniques to actually help me practically deal with the worry, deal with what is within my control, what is not within my control. And I'm not ignorant to the fact that we do literally have to come up with the extra money. I'm not ignorant to that. I'm not ignorant to the fact that groceries cost more than they did, that petrol's, all these things. I'm not ignorant to that. I'm realistic about the fact that we do have to deal with it. But I'm choosing my mindset, choosing the way that I choose to feel about it, choosing the amount of attention that I give it, choosing how I deal with those feelings of stress in my body, because I have felt firsthand how that long-term chronic stress can make me really, really sick. And I don't want to be in that space again. That's my feelings and my thoughts on this. So tapping is a big part of that for me. Okay, so if I find that I am worrying, okay, even though our mortgage has gone up by $1,500 a month, I'm feeling a little stressed. I'm going to accept that I feel this way, and I'm going to choose to release that stress now. Because stress about something isn't going to solve the problem. Worry about something, continually worrying, is meeting it with resistance. So it is not going to solve the problem either. What it is going to do is it's going to put you into a state of stress, into a state of anxiety, potentially panic and illness. So I know, again, another little rant. I'm so sorry. I love these topics, right? My choice is to believe, that I am open to receiving. My choice is to trust. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me is I have had to say, okay, I trust that things are going to happen. And actually, when I reflect back, that is something I've always been very good at. And actually, I think that's in my human design. I have what you call a defined ego center. And if you don't know what human design is, it's not a bad thing. That, as in the defined ego center, is not a bad thing. It means for me that I will decide that something is going to happen, or I will decide that something is going to be a certain way. And then I have unwavering faith that that's going to happen. And I have been caught up in my not self theme. I have been caught up, unaligned with how I really am. I have spent my nights worrying, physically nauseous, and not recently, but years ago, physically nauseous over how I was going to pay a really big business debt, over how I was going to pay my mortgage. I bought my own home when I was 21 years old on my own. How I was going to pay my mortgage, how I was going to pay all these things, getting through, my eldest child's maternity leave. How are we going to do this? And then there's all these other things that came along with that, that I wasn't earning the money. And so I had this guilt and, that's, stories, their beliefs, their interpretations and perceptions that I won't go deep into. So I'm saying that when I am in my not self, I too have been in these places where it occupies your mind. But again, I'm going to say this, and you may agree, you may not agree, but I'd really love for you to consider how it's impacting you, the worry and the stress, and tell me what outcome has come out of your worry and your stress, and you're continually devoting all of your free energy, all of your free mental energy towards something that I'm going to say probably 80% is out of your control. And then the part that is within your control, what are you doing about it? What can you do about it? Maybe you've already done all you can. You know, there's no criticism here. I don't know your personal journey and your personal stories, but I'm just, very passionate about how stress impacts our body. And if you stay in this place of stress, then that is not going to be helpful for you to find a resolution. It's also not going to put you on an energetic frequency of abundance. And it's not going to support your brain, which is looking for more lack, looking for more stress, because that is where you are putting your time and attention to. So the brain will look for what it is told to look for. More stress, more worry, more lack. And a lot of that is going to be coming from the stories and the beliefs that you have. Okay. So when we tap, we might be saying, and a very real example, again, even though the rates have just risen again, and I don't know where the extra money is going to come from yet, I choose to let go of the stress. Even though I'm worried about interest rates, I choose to let go of the stress. Even though I am worried about how I'm going to pay my mortgage, and I'm feeling stressed or anxious or nervous, I choose to release this stress, or I accept how I feel. I accept how I feel. And then as you tap around your points, you would just simply give a voice to how you feel. I'm stressed about interest rates, stressed about interest rates, stressed about interest rates, stressed about interest rates. And so as you tap around the body, you are validating that feeling, but you're also sending that calming signal up to your amygdala. So that is one way that I would use tapping, is particularly in my daily life. Oh, that I know, you see an email that something bounced or something couldn't be paid or whatever it is, oh, I feel embarrassed about this, or even though I feel this way, you just validate how you feel with your tapping to help you to move through those emotions and to help you to start to disconnect the stories that you have about it as well. Because quite often you could make we make meaning of those stories based on our perceptions, based on our beliefs. So yeah, that is a very real practical example that I know, is impacting a lot of people. So you would like to simply tap, even though I'm stressed about interest rates, or even though I'm worried about interest rates, I accept how I feel. And then again, tapping around the points on your body. I'm worried about interest rates, or I'm stressed about money. So just keeping your words really simple. So I'm going to identify now some really common beliefs that people have around money. Now, remember I talked about beliefs living as a part of your subconscious mind. Beliefs are here to inform your perception. They're basically a meaning that you have made out of something, a conclusion that you have come to out of something that has happened to you, most likely in early childhood. An interpretation that you have made, either by observing something or by experiencing something repeatedly. And as you experience this, you put these meanings of these immature brains that we have when we're, that young age. We put these immature meanings on things. And so some really common beliefs that people carry around, things like money is evil or corrupting. I am not deserving or worthy of financial abundance. There is never enough money to go around. I have to work hard to earn money. Money can't buy happiness or fulfillment. Rich people are greedy and selfish. It's not spiritual to focus on money or material wealth. Money is the root of all problems. I will never be able to get out of debt. I'm not good with money and cannot manage it well. Now, you may like to just scroll back 1 minute and listen to those again. And notice in your body which of those resonated with you. Which of those money beliefs are lingering in there? Perhaps you've already done some work on your money beliefs. Which of them still resonated? And let me tell you what happens if you don't identify these beliefs. These beliefs inform your perception and they drive your behavior and your emotions. And if you have a thought about something, a belief about something, then when you have a thought, you are going to give that thought more attention because you're just building more evidence. I'm not good with money and can't manage it well. Oh, and look at that. I just got another email that says that my direct debit bounced. That just proves me right again, right? We're just building that evidence. And so today, in terms of challenging beliefs, I'm not going to go too deep into that. But what I would like you to do is just start to use tapping. Even though I believe I'm not good with money, I accept that I feel this way. Just start to challenge it. You may like to do some deeper work. That's the sort of thing that we can do together one-on-one. Pulling apart where these stories came from. Desensitizing the original stories that are attached to it. Teaching yourself a new way of normal. Assisting your brain to reprogram these old beliefs. And we can do that through tapping and hypnotherapy. If you're interested in doing that one-on-one together, then reach out to me. Send me a DM on Instagram, book a discovery chat. They're free. Plenty of value. They're full of value. Everything has an energetic exchange. But financially, the discovery call is free. So get on a call and let's have a chat about what's going on for you. Because we can move through it together. And so you may like to start tapping. And we will go through more of this in the tapping circle in terms of allowing you to explore in your journal and then tapping on what comes up for you. And you can get help in those moments as well. Now, finally, what I'd like to share with you are some affirmations that you may also like to tap with. Now, this is so that you can start to support yourself daily and start to reprogram your beliefs around money and have things to challenge those limiting beliefs with. But please bear in mind, in my opinion, and also when we look at how EFT works, that if you are just tapping about something negative, about how you feel negatively, and then you jump to the positive too quickly, you haven't effectively dealt with what you're dealing with. So if you're chipping away at your beliefs, fantastic. Keep doing that. I wouldn't even worry about going to the positive if you're chipping away at them. But if you also want to wake up in the morning and support yourself with some affirmations to support you to rewire your mind for financial abundance and independence, to be able to say to your brain every time it throws up a limiting belief, actually, no, I am actually worthy of financial abundance, proving this wrong. If you want to really help to strengthen that rewiring, as something that you can do as an activity you can do daily to support yourself, I would do this while you're tapping. And the reason I would say these affirmations tapping is because, again, we're lowering that resistance. We're sending safety to these messages. Because the amount of people I have worked with that have said they feel strange about affirmations at the beginning because they don't feel like they're true. And what we give our emotional weight to is what's gonna really make the biggest impact. So here are some affirmations. You might like to write them down if you have a journal. I'll pop them in the show notes so you can still grab them if you're out walking or something. Some affirmations to support you with your rewiring when you get to your positive part of tapping. I am worthy of financial abundance and prosperity. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I am capable of managing my finances with ease and confidence. I am grateful for the abundance in my life and the opportunities to grow my wealth. I release all limiting beliefs around money and embrace a positive and abundant mindset. And just on that, it's really worth actually journaling out for yourself, what does abundance mean to me? Because it is going to mean something different to everybody. Not everybody wants a loaded bank account. Not everybody wants, a mansion on the water. What does abundance mean to you? I trust in the universe to provide for me and support me in achieving my financial goals. I am open to receiving wealth and abundance in all areas of my life. I am worthy of earning a high income doing work that I love. Really reiterate that for yourself. So often we get stuck because we think we have to. I am in control of my financial destiny and make empowered choices that support my financial goals. I am grateful for the financial independence that allows me to live a fulfilling and abundant life. So, look, I would love for you to start exploring what your beliefs are, tapping with your affirmations. Bearing in mind, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a money coach. What I'm sharing with you today is how you can use EFT tapping to increase your abundant mindset and to lower stress around money, lowering stress around your body. Now, if only we could just tap away all the interest rates. Wouldn't that be lovely? Tap them all away. But no, lowering stress in terms of how it is impacting you. Lowering the way that your mind and your body responds to stress. So I hope this episode has been helpful for you. I would love to hear from you. Jump on my Instagram at jessica.reed.ilc if you do want to really work through your money beliefs, if you know that you've hit as far as you can go right now in your business because energetically you just can't hold anymore. Energetically, you have beliefs there that are stopping you from reaching your next level income. Because professionally, you don't believe that you're worthy of earning more money. Whatever is going on for you, we can work through that in our 1 month intensive, which is my favorite way to work one-on-one with someone. We get down to the core things very quickly. And I really do hope to see you at our next tapping circle. Remember, 10th of May, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it, still register because you will get a copy of the replay sent to you so you can tap just afterwards, if you work at a night time or a house is just crazy town. So, although I still encourage you to come, the good thing about tapping is you don't need a super quiet space where, no one is bothering you. Obviously, if it's going to add to your stress, then don't. But, with little people around, it is absolutely fine. You might even get them tapping and potentially tapping, themselves to sleep. Would be a great outcome. So hopefully I see you at the tapping circle. If not this month, then next month. And I hope you have the most amazing day. You have been listening to Alive and Thriving by Inspired Life Collective. Did you know that you can help us to impact even more women on their well-being journey simply by subscribing to this podcast and leaving a review? If stress or anxiety, life or business has got you feeling inside like you are just busting to come back to life, then I invite you to book a discovery call with me so we can chat about how Inspired Life Collective private and online services might be able to support you through your journey. I am so grateful to you for being here and having me in your ears. So until the next episode, just remember that you were born to thrive.